everyone, how are you? Today we are going to be doing a lesson on butterflies, and we're going to be making our own butterflies. So I wanted to start out with one of my favorite poems by Christina Rossetti. Hurt no living thing, ladybird nor butterfly, nor moth with dusty wing, nor cricket chirping cheerily, nor grasshopper so light of leap, nor dancing gnat, nor beetle fat, nor harmless worms that creep. So you've probably already seen some butterflies out in your yard, and this is the time of year that many butterflies are starting their life cycle. So if you haven't read The Very Hungry Caterpillar, I'll go through that with you a little bit, and that butterflies start out as a tiny little egg on a leaf, and the egg hatches into a caterpillar. So this time of year, keep your eye out for caterpillars too. And the caterpillar eats and eats, and once it's eaten enough, it makes a chrysalis. And this is an example of a Cecropia moth chrysalis. And it stays inside the chrysalis for sometimes a couple weeks, sometimes over the winter. And then out of the chrysalis one day comes a beautiful butterfly. And there are a lot of butterflies and moths that are native to our area. Here's the big and beautiful Luna moth. That lives way up in the tops of the biggest trees that you might see at the park. And here's a tiger swallowtail, which is also a local butterfly. And I've included a poster with all the different types of local butterflies and moths so that you can start to learn their names. So when you see them out in the woods, you can know what they are. So we are going to start with a piece of paper. Hopefully you have some watercolor paper. If you don't and it's just regular white paper, that's okay. But try to use the thickest white paper that you can find. And we're going to fold our paper in half. And the reason for that is butterflies are symmetrical. So when we say that something is symmetrical in nature, we mean that one side is a mirror image of the other. And you can even see that in the butterfly's design, where there's the same design on either wing. Both wings have the same design, and God uses symmetry a lot in nature. Our faces are symmetrical, so if you were to draw a line down the center of your face, you would have your two eyes on either side of your nose and either side of your mouth. So what you want to do, like I was saying, is start with your piece of paper and fold it in half. Then you want to think of, you can even block it out with your finger. You're just drawing one side of your butterfly's wing. So I'm going to draw the tiger swallowtail, and I'm going to think of just one side of its wing. So here I go. It's a little bit like making snowflakes, if you've done that before, or if you've made hearts on Valentine's Day. So I've just drawn out one half of its wing. And now I'm going to cut it out. And I have my symmetrical butterfly wings. But now I need to paint the design on them. And so for this project, you're going to need some kids paint, a little tiny bit of flour, we'll talk about why in a minute, and some brushes, and hopefully you might have some pipe cleaners around or some sticks. We're going to use those to make the butterfly's body. So you could just draw out the design and try to make it symmetrical, but sometimes that can be a little hard to make the design on one wing exactly the same on the exact same place. So we're going to use the paint to help us. So I'm going to look at my tiger swallowtail, and I notice he has yellow. So I'm going to paint yellow on this side of his wing. And then I'm going to fold my paper over and press down. And now I have the same shape. If you're using the watercolor paper, you might need to go over your place a little bit if it didn't get quite filled up, but you have, that really helps you get the exact same shape in the same place. So I'm going to do the same with the other part of my butterfly's wing. And then I want to sprinkle a little flour on this because, as we were talking about in the introduction to this lesson, moths and butterflies have dusty wings, and it says that in our poem too, moth with dusty wing. And the reason for that is they're the moths or butterflies' tiny feathers. So now it has nice dusty wings. I'm gonna add, I noticed that my butterfly has a little bit of blue here. So I'm gonna add some blue, turn it over and press. And I notice that it has a little bit of red here and here. So I'm gonna get my red out. Oops, I already did. There's my red. And put a little bit of red here, a little bit of red there. And there I have the more colorful part of my butterfly. But as you notice, your butterfly has some black on it, and we don't have black paint, so what should we do? What we can do is we can mix together yellow and purple. And that's going to get us a brownish black color because they're complementary colors. So I'm going to wash out my brush. Another option to this is you could use brown construction paper or black construction paper to make your butterfly. The colors don't come out quite as bright, but that helps you get the black or brown. This was one that I did on black construction paper, so that's how that looks if you want to do it that way. And so I'm going to mix yellow and purple here together to see, it might give me more of a brown. If it does that, I'm going to add a little blue. Or a little green. So basically black is a lot of colors all mixed together. That's making, see if I add a little blue. That made sort of a nice dark brownish black. So you kind of just, it's not going to be a straight up black, but it'll be closer to black. So green, blue, and purple with a little bit of yellow. So then I'm going to use that to make the black markings on my butterfly's wings. Now, if you have black paint, you can just go for it and use black paint. But if you don't, hopefully this will be a nice alternative. You could also go in, if you feel confident and you want to, you could go in with your black marker too and try to make a symmetrical design. And for this, I do want you to try to make a butterfly that is native to our area, but if you really enjoy the project and you want to come up with your own butterfly designs, you can. Maybe I'll go back and forth between my black paint and my black marker. So there I have it. I have my butterfly. And then you can use either a twig for its body, or if you have some pipe cleaners around, you can use a pipe cleaner. You can tape that down, which would be, kind of taping it like this. Or what I kind of like to do, because I think it looks a little more natural, so you'd make very carefully 2 holes at the top and 2 holes at the bottom. make sure there aren't too many knobby sections on your twig because those might rip your paper. And you just try to push your twig right through. I might need to make this hole again. Oops. And there you have your butterfly. And I hope you are also keeping your eye out for butterflies